going to be a formal presentation anyway, so the only thing you need to keep in mind is that it might be nice if you can hear us. So other than that, you can ask us at any time, literally anything about the CAS. So yeah, a lot of what Ms. Bori said we'll be covering as well. But first of all, what is CAS? Well, it's part of the IB diploma program, which probably most of, if not all of you, are going to follow eventually, hopefully. Yeah. If you don't fail your IGCSEs. Okay. So, CAS is not necessarily a subject like all the others. It is a topic which must be covered within the IB. It is necessary for you to pass. If you don't pass the CAS, you do not get the IB diploma. But it does not in any way change your grades. It does not affect the grades of your other subjects, and it is not affected by the grades in your other subjects. All you need to do is pass it, basically.
So as Miss said, the three strands, it stands for creativity, activity, and service, and to cover them you need 30 hours in each strand, one big project and a few series of experiences or single experiences.
So yeah, there's always a lot of confusion as to what is creativity, activity, and service. So creativity, it's sort of obvious, right? You're just being creative, you're doing something, literally anything that you enjoy and that shows some sort of creativity and forward thinking.
I have a question.
Yes.
For example, if I'm a very bad painter and I paint something, is this counted as creativity? Even though it's a very bad piece.
Even if you're awful at it, it's still creativity.
Because I just decided to do so, then it's counting for creativity.
As long as you plan it, do it, and then reflect on it, it's a CAS experience.
I need to reflect on it.
Okay. This, we're going to talk about
this
this
is documented.
Yeah.
Okay.
So creativity, as Miss said, can be anything, even if you're awful at it. As long as you're trying, it's fine. Activity is sports, or just physical activity, really. But the thing is, in this section of CAS, fits also being a referee, for example, or a coach. So you don't necessarily have to go out there and be part of a sports team, although that does help. You can be a referee for a couple of games, or you can be a coach. That counts for activity as well. And finally, service is just, well, you know, providing service, providing something which fulfills a genuine need in the community. So whether it's, I don't know, cleaning up a park, or collecting recyclables, or spending time with kids in a foster care center, those are all service. Oh, also one more thing. It should be clear that one experience or series of experiences is not necessarily for one strand only. You can have experiences for creativity and activity, or for creativity, activity, and service. You can have all three. Okay. So what does the CAS consist of in itself, the program in itself, what you're supposed to do? So you're supposed to have your CAS experiences. As Alex said, those are 30 hours.
Each.
Yeah, 30 hours for creativity, 30 hours for activity, 30 hours for service. This is no longer specifically written down, but it's still expected of you. Roughly, yeah. Well,
Depends on the experience.
it's basically a guideline, more or less, because you can have less if the experiences are meaningful, and you can have more if you feel like it. So yeah.
And of course, all of it has to be somehow documented.
And then you have the CAS project, which is basically a longer and more significant experience. It's something that you have to start and carry out from beginning till end, or from beginning throughout if you're not planning for it to end. And it should last at least a month, as far as I know. Yeah,
Wasn't it 6
so
weeks?
it's at least a month.
Wasn't it 6 weeks?
It's complicated.
We changed it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So it's at least 1 month. It can last as long as you want beyond that, but yeah. And it can really be anything that's meaningful. For example, my project was the Board Games Club. Alex's project was a mural for the kindergarten. So
No, for the wall right there.
sorry for the wall right there. I'm an idiot. It's fine. And as long as it's something meaningful that takes time and effort, and that you pour a lot of thought into, that. Shut up, bloody. That acts as a project, okay? Right. The third part is CAS reflections. You need to reflect on every experience, every